Hello and welcome back to the We Are City channel, and it's a very special start today to this series because we are playing FIFA 21 career mode on PlayStation 5. Yes, next gen gaming has arrived on the We Are City channel, and we are starting a Manchester City career mode on PlayStation 5 on FIFA 21. And today we're not starting where you usually start a career mode. We aren't starting in the first season. We are starting in our second season. Of course, if you did watch the FIFA 21 PS4 career mode for Manchester City, you will have seen that Pep Guardiola, after the first season, he did leave. We brought in Julian Nagelsmann as the manager, and we managed to win 5 trophies in one season in our final season, the third season. But things are going to be different here because this is Pep. Pep's going to stay in charge. He signed the new contract, the 2-year deal, which he signed for City just before the January transfer window, I believe it was. And we're starting from the second season, how City would look from next season, how the squad would look, what decisions they'd have to make, and we're going to try and make them through the eyes of Pep Guardiola and try and make realistic signs that he would make. So, you know, in the other one we were signing, 5 or 6 players in a transfer window, weren't we? And that's not going to be happening this transfer window or throughout this season. We might make maybe 1, maybe 2 signs, in a transfer window, maybe 3, maybe 4 in this one, considering it's the first one, and we want to make big change to the squad, but no more than that. We need to have a look at the squad and see where we are. But first, let's go through a few things. Of course, we are starting in the second season. We have set up our youth staff. So one has gone to England, and they're all going for technically gifted players. We're looking to bring in technically gifted players that we can then, because you can position change them, change them to centre backs, full backs. You even get technically gifted to go goalkeeper sometimes in this, which is really what we want to see, technically gifted players that we can improve their physicals. So one's gone to England, one's gone to Spain, and one's gone to Portugal. A lot of Portuguese players isn't in the City team at the moment, so it seems right to go there. Spain, City's youth team is full of Spanish and English players, so they are the two nations that we picked to go and scout. And this is how the squad is looking. Of course, there's some contracts that are running out in a few days, and that's some decisions that we'll have to make. So the first one is we've got Edison as the goalkeepers, with Scott Carson, who will stay as our third choice goalkeeper this season. We've also got Aro Muric, who's returned from his loan at Wilhelm, and Gavin Bazunu, who's returned from Rochdale. I actually think, look at that. Muric is 22 years old, 71 rated. Bazunu is 69 rated at 19, so he looks probably like a better prospect in the long term. Zach Steffen, who's got 12 months left in his contract, that's something we need to look at. And of course, he is our second choice keeper, but at some point he is going to be good enough to be a first choice keeper at a club, and we might see him leave. 2 left backs that we've got, the only 2 left backs in the whole squad, which shows where we are sort of, lacking, is Alexander Zinchenko and Benjamin Mendy. Alexander Zinchenko has grown to 82 rated in this second season, whereas Benjamin Mendy is still down at 79 rated, and Mendy's out of contract, and I have transfer listed him. So I think we'll keep Zinchenko and sell Mendy. That's the thing I'm looking at the moment, although I'm still open to options for Zinchenko as well. If we had to bring in 2 left backs, if we could bring one in the cheap, that would be an option. Joao Cancelo can play at left back, we've got Ake that can play at left back, Laporte can play at left back, so we've still got players that can play there if we were to lose both these full backs. John Stones, who's been fantastic for City last season. Of course, City did win the league in this saving, looking to win the league in real life. 85 rated, 27 years of age. He's got 12 months left in his contract. That's something we need to definitely look at, and I'm pretty sure we will be offering a new contract for John Stones. Diaz is 87 rated at 24 years of age. Looks absolutely incredible, doesn't he? He's going to be in this team for a very long time. Ake is 80 rated at 26 years of age. He will be staying. Philip Sandler, we've got my transfer list. He's got 12 months left in his contract. I can't believe it. He's 24 years of age at 71 rated. When he first came into City, we thought, big things for him, but not quite worked out. Howard Bellis is 1968 rated. We've got him on the loan list. Hopefully he can progress and he can come into the City side at some point. Aymeric Laporte, 27 years of age, 90 rated. A bit unhappy, hasn't he, with team chances really, because Stones and Diaz have been so good. Laporte maybe would want to leave the club, but he's one of the world's best, isn't he? 90 rated, 27 years of age, and we're not looking to sell Laporte. But if he does ask to leave, we have got options for every single player, and we'll go through that a bit later in our transfer targets. Luke Mbeti, he's loan listed, the young centre-back, 18 years of age, 61 rated. He looks really good. A left footer as well. You don't get many of them, so hopefully he can go out on loan and progress as a player. Joao Cancelo is now 87 rated at full-back, can play at right or left-back. We've got plenty of right-backs. You'll see this now. Issa Kabore, we've loan listed him, 20 rated. 20 years of old, 72 rated. We've got Culliverth Aguilar, 18 years of age. He's just joined the club, 67 rated. He looks quite good again, loan listed. Got Kyle Walker, who will stay. Walker and Cancelo battling it out there. Jan Kuto looks like one for the future, doesn't he? A young fullback that we've got as well. And Pedro Porro is out on loan, 80 rated at 21. He's really progressed in Portugal, but he's still got another year loan there. Holding midfield, we've got Rodri, Joe Hodge, who's 64 rated at 18. That's not looking too bad, so we'll loan him out. He looks quite impressive. Rodri as well, 88 rated now. One thing we need to decide is Fernandinho. Do we let him leave? Do we keep him? It's a hard decision really, isn't it? He's 36 years of age, but he's still been playing really well for City, and if you get rid of him, you've got to replace him. Now, do we want to do that? Well, there's a man in this squad that could replace him. We've got Claudio Gomez that is 68 rated. We're looking to loan him out or maybe sell him. We'll see how he progresses. He's not doing that bad actually, 20 years of age, 68 rated. Gundogan's grown to 87. He will be staying at the club. The same for Kevin De Bruyne, 93 rated now. This is a man that is making me feel like maybe we could see Fernandinho go, because Yangel Herrera has returned from his loan at Granada, and look how impressive. He's 82 rated. How impressive is that? Just maybe he could be the man to replace Fernandinho on the cheap, really. Just come in and play as that backup to Fernandinho. No need to bring back, maybe the likes of Douglas Luiz or bring in a holding midfielder. Yangel Herrera is there already at the club to replace him, and he looked, 82 rated at 23. He looks really good, doesn't he? We've got Ivan Ilic, 73 rated, 20-year-old Serbian on the loan list also. The same with Ante Palversa, that's 21.76. Not too bad, really. Tommy Doyle is 19 at 70 rated now. I do have a future for Doyle at the club. I hope he does for City. We'll just have to see. Fiorini, or Fiorini they call him, he's 62 rated. I don't know. I'm not quite sure on him. I think he's got the possibility. We've loan listed him. I think he's one for the future. The same goes for Felix Nemecha. Adrian Banabe, I'm not quite sure on, but we'll see. The same for James McAtee, another, I think a loan for him will suit him. Bernardo Silva will be staying at the club, 87 rated. The hard worker that he is, he's absolutely fantastic. Cole Palmer looks like one for the future as well, 69 rated at 19. Raheem Sterling, 87 rated at 26. Not been impressive in real life. Can't see us selling him because he's a really good player, but we'll see what happens. Phil Foden's pretty much catching up to him. Foden's grown to 86 rated by the end of this season. He's a left winger, absolutely incredible. Jaden Braff's 72 rated, he's loan listed. The same for Morgan Rogers. These two, for me, are definitely for the future. Both young, both highly rated. See, Stefanovic is also 18, but he's a lot further down, isn't he, at 63 rated. Dario Sarmiento looks one that has just joined the club, definitely for the future. Again, 18 years of age, 73 rated on the loan list. Definitely one for the future. Ferran Torres is going to be a big part of the squad, 83 rated now. Probably will move him to left wing maybe, or right wing, I'm not quite sure. Can play on both sides. Kaikai, a player that City signed, the young Brazilian from, I think it was it Fluminense. He's 19 years of age, a right winger at 64 rated, needs a loan I think. Mahrez will be staying unless things change. 30 years old though Mahrez, he's getting towards the end of his City career. Jesus I'm unsure on, 82 rated at 24. Just not impressive at all. He's not what City need as a finisher. I haven't transfer listed him or anything. We'll keep him around. Pablo Moreno, he's transfer listed. Got 12 months left in his contract. He's never going to make it the club. Liam Delap is 73 rated at 18. Looks a superstar. He deserves a chance. He's on the loan list. We could loan him out maybe to a side. I think he'd suit Brighton. Brighton struggle, don't they, to finish their chances. So maybe Liam Delap should go there and be a finisher at that club. But we'll see. We're happy to get him in the first team. Nathaniel Bustos, a player that was on loan at Girona, 76 rated at 23, is not too bad, but we're looking to sell him on. Sergio Aguero is the other one, the other decision we have to make. Along with Fernandinho, do we let Sergio go if we bring in a big name striker? Do we let Sergio stay? He's down at 86 rated, I'm not quite sure, maybe one more year for Sergio. Although it's looking like he's going to be joining Lionel Messi at Barcelona, isn't it really? With Laporta winning the elections, I think he's already mentioned, hasn't he, that he wants Sergio there with Messi. That's what he's going to do, reunite them. And it's looking pretty likely to me. And then Lucas Nemecha is 76 rated at 22, which is pretty good. But I don't think he's ever going to be good enough for this squad, so we will transfer list him and hopefully get a decent bit of money for him. Now let's have a look at our objectives for the season. So the objectives for the season, the board want us to finish with 292.5 million profit for the season. They want us to win the Champions League and win the FA Cup. They want us to, within 2 seasons, have at least one player from the youth academy sign in the first team and play at least 30% of the games in the next season. So that's not going to be easy, but we'll give it a go. Brand exposure wise, they want us to get a streak of 15 games with at least 1 goal scored in this season, which is not that hard. Although the 15 streak games, I think we can do that. Sign one of the best players in the world, 82 overall. that's going to happen straight away. So I think we'll complete that one pretty easily. Financially, of course, is that profit margin. Domestic success, they want us to win the Premier League and win the FA Cup. And continental success, they want us to win the Champions League. All very attainable targets there. Now, as for our shortlist, these are shortlist players. They've not all been scouted yet. We're still scouting the players. Of course, we've gone through it as like if we'd started sort of on FIFA 22, where we'd start from this season. So we are scouting from the get-go. So we won't have all the players' scout reports back yet. And of course, some of these players you'll think, oh, you're targeting these players. No, these are sort of contingency plans if a player was to leave. So the targets we are actually looking at for this season, we'll go through it, is one of these left-backs. So Carlos Neva is one, 25 years of age, got a 39.1 million release clause, which seems like a decent fee for a left-back. And if you want to bring a second-choice left-back, around 40 million for one isn't too bad. We've got Owen Vindel, the Dutchman. We'll see on the scouting. Ben Spiani, who's in contract talks with Bilbao, so we'll see how that happens. Kieran Tierney is sort of one that I don't think is going to happen, but I'd love to happen. Matias Fina, he would be a cheap option to come as a second choice, really. The Uruguayan, he's been very impressive at Palmeiras. We've got Renan Lodi, that the only way you're going to sign him from Atletico is to pay his release fee, which is 71.2 million. I don't think that's going to happen, is it? Alejandro Grimaldo is one that's going to be way too expensive, I think. Considering he's from Benfica, we're not going to be paying upwards of, 85 million for a fullback. Nicolas Tagliafico is the cheapest option, but he's also the oldest, and we signed him in the PS4 career mode. My number one target is this man, Theo Hernandez. He's absolutely incredible if anyone's used him on FIFA, and I think he'd be perfect for City. Not going to be an easy deal to complete. He's only 23 years of age. City tried to sign him a few years ago, so I think he's my number one option. It's whether he leaves AC Milan. And Jose Gaya, who's in negotiations with Leipzig here, but I mean, look at that. He's got a 96 million release clause. In real life, he cost around 25-30 million euros, they believe, because his contract's up, but he's signed a new contract on this save at Valencia. He's going to be a tough player to bring in. Holding midfield's also an option. Of course, we've got Yankel Herrera, like we said, but maybe we do bring in another one if we don't keep Herrera, and we've got a few players for holding midfield. The first one is Manuel Locatelli, been linked with City a few times, 53.2 million for the Italian midfield. I'd be looking for bringing him less than that. It looks like the loan he's selling for his release clause. We've got Declan Rice, around 50 to 60 million for Declan Rice, it looks like. Ismail Benacer, very good player, another AC Milan one. Would cost maybe 40-50 million to bring him in. Douglas Luiz, City have a 30 million buyback on him. I'm not quite sure on that, because we do have a Rayo who's probably better than him. And Dennis Akari, who we've signed before, I think his contract is up at the end of the season, so he could be one that would be cheap to sign. Of course, a little one that could be a contingency plan. He's got, of course, Gabriel Menino, who's been playing really well, can play midfield or right back. He's been playing really well for Palmeiras. Other ones that we've got, a centre midfielder, Gundogan. He's not going to be around forever. Ruben Neves is an option. I think he'd be too expensive. We've got Florian Neuhaus here, who is probably the closest thing you're going to see to Ilkay Gundogan. The same with Houssem Aouar. And I think, one of these two players would be a really good signing for City as a midfield option. I think City do lack a midfield option at times with David Silva leaving. We've got none of these here. Of course, Lionel Messi won't be leaving Barcelona. He's signed a new contract. Joao Felix for the forward is an option. I think, he would leave Atletico Madrid. He's not happy, I don't think, entirely at Atletico with Diego Simeone, but he's going to cost a ridiculous amount of money. His release clause is 378 million. Just can't see us making that deal happen. Kangin Lee's another option for midfield. We convert him to a midfielder. His contract is up at the end of the season, and he's got a release cost of 24 million, so he could be an option. Striker-wise, striker's the big one. That's the one that we need to sort out. So these are the striker options. We've still got scouts going. Darwin Nunez, he's a really good player, but a bit Gabriel Jesus to me, not a natural born finisher, it seems, which could be a big issue, but he seems like the one City would sign. The same goes for Alexander Isak. I think 69 million for a very, very good striker there. I'm not quite sure. If we want a proven striker, this man seems like a very good option in Romelu Lukaku. I would love to bring him in, to be honest, but he's just going to cost, again, too much. It's if we can get him on a cheaper deal. Maybe Gabriel Jesus goes the other way. I'm not quite sure on that one. Haaland is, of course, the one that everyone wants, the one I want. Is it realistic? Some will say yes, some will say no. I'm not quite sure. I'm really not quite sure whether Haaland would ever join Manchester City. I know he says he's a City fan, but I cannot see City paying over 100 million for a player ever. But it's Haaland, isn't it? And he's incredible, and City have got to pay it, really. We've seen how poor City's finishing is without Aguero in the team. I'm not quite sure. He's going to cost 200 million. Lukaku's not going to come cheap either. He's 8 years older as well. We've got Danny Ings, who's got 12 months left in his contract, so we could pick him up pretty cheap. And he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. He's a second choice striker. I think he'd be a very good option at City. If we can pick him up for around 30 million, that's a very good signing. Lautaro Martinez, again, he's going to cost upwards of 100 million, so I'm not quite sure on that one, although I think he's the closest thing you're going to see to Sergio Aguero. We've got Patson Daka here, around 38 million he costs. He's at Buenos Aires for whatever reason. He's an option, definitely an option, but I'm not quite sure. I think, again, he's similar to the Ings signing, or maybe the Nunez signing, or the Isaac signing, the second choice. You know, a sort of plan B option if we were to get rid of Jesus, but we'll see how it happens. And Sergio Aguero, of course, could be on his way out. Then for contingency plans, there's some players in this list that you might think, well, you haven't mentioned them. We need to mention them, and we'll mention them now. So, of course, every player's position is pretty safe in the team, but if they were to leave, if something was to happen, they have to leave, we don't want them at the club, then we'd have to replace them. So these are the options that I have picked out that I think would be really good options to replace those players. So the first one is Zach Steffen. If Zach Steffen was to leave the club as second choice keeper, I think Kakir would be the best second choice goalkeeper option. He's very good, 25 years of age, Turkish international. I think he'd be a very good second choice option for us to come in and be the second choice to Ederson. If Ederson was to leave, these are the two options I've got. Gianluigi Donnarumma, I mean, 22 years of age, probably going to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He would be my first choice to replace Ederson. If not, I'd go for a player that I think Pep's a big fan of in Jan Sommer. If you were to see Joao Cancelo leave and we weren't going to pick up for one of the right backs in our youth team or one of the right backs that are out on loan, Tariq Lamptey would be up there in my options. And the same for Kyle Walker. I'd go for Max Aarons if I could to replace him. Then we're going to the centre-backs. If Nathan Ake was to leave, I think a cheap option would be Unai Nunez to come in and play as a backup. I think if Laporte was to leave, no better option than another left-footed in Pau Torres. Pretty much the next Aymeric Laporte in my eyes. If John Stones was to leave, we'd need someone who was a homegrown player, and I think Ben White would be the perfect option for that. And if we were to lose Ruben Diaz, which I don't think we will, but if we were to lose Ruben Diaz and we needed a first choice, then I think Jules Koundé would be the perfect option. You've seen our left-back options here. Of course, if we were to lose, Zinchenko, we were only looking to sign one left-back. If we were to lose Zinchenko, I think Matthias Viña would be a good player to bring in. Gabriel Veron is my option to replace Sterling if we were to lose him. 18 years of age, a Brazilian. This team will not sell his player. He's too important to the club, but at some point they might, be interested in selling him, and he would be the man, in my eyes, to replace Raheem Sterling. We've got, obviously some of these players that we're looking into. We've got, of course, some of these players we're looking into that could replace people at any time. I mean, Thiago Almada, to me, could replace, one of our players at some point. Maybe Phil Foden was to leave, which I can't ever see happening, but that's my idea. And Szoboszlai would be the man, in my eyes, to replace Kevin De Bruyne in the future. Other than that, I mean, Pedro de la Vega's in there. Just another one. He's joined Aston Villa, in fact, in this. Maybe a Ferran Torres replacement. Anthony, maybe a, Jesus replacement, maybe, or a sort of a wing replacement. And the same goes for this man, Oyarzabal, who I think would be a great replacement to replace Riyad Mahrez if he was to leave. 24 years of age. I'm a big fan of Oyarzabal, but he would cost, one massive fee, wouldn't he, if you were to sign Mikel Oyarzabal. But that's our current shortlist, and we'll know a bit more when these players come back with their scouting reports and see how good they are at the moment, because we know what rating they were at the start of the season, but everyone develops at a different rate, and these could be, high rated, low rated. We'll have to see when the scout reports come back on these players. So we won't be playing the pre-season tournament. We'll sim through it unless we get to the final. We will play it, and the first game here is against Real Madrid, and this is the side we're going to go with for most of our pre-season tournament, I think. Steffen in goal, Huto, Howard, Bellis, Ake, and Zinchenko, Doyle and Herrera in the middle. We're going to give Young Herrera a chance to impress. Bernardo Silva in front, Liam Delap up top, Braff on the left, and Ferran Torres on the right. And we will quickly sim this game and see how things go. It's a 1-0 defeat to Real Madrid. Rodrigo in the 25th minute gets the winning goal, but it's just a chance to the players to build up the fitness, really. Well, some transfer offers, some players in our shortlist. The first one is Jose Gaya. The 70.7 million bid they've received from RB Leipzig. That's a big amount for a fullback. I don't think I'd pay that for Gaya. And Sevilla received 50.7 million bid for Jules Koundé from Gladbach. Well, I can't see any of those two deals going through, if I'm honest. The next game is up against Juventus. We'll go with the same team once again and see how that turns out. A 2-1 defeat, Dybala and Chiesa. So not a great pre-season at the moment, is it? 2 defeats in a row. So up next we've got Atletico Madrid. We are bottom of our group. Same team, same sim, probably same result to be honest. A 2-0 defeat to Atletico, so we are out of the pre-season tournament. But you only play around 3 games in pre-season anyway, so it gives a chance for the team to, you know, get a bit of fitness up, and that's good to see. It's what we need, really. We've got a transfer for Philip Sandler here from Lorient for 2 million. We will accept that. We're happy to let him go for that amount of money. Nothing much, is it, really? And there's confirmation. Philip Sandler has joined Lorient, so 1.6 million gets added to the budget. Well, there's interesting Danny Ings from Athletic Bilbao, 27.9 million. Well, Bilbao, maybe they've signed Ben Sabiani as well, so they've signed 2 players that are non-Basque, 1 Algerian and 1 English, which is a bit odd. But so it is on FIFA. We'll see if all the scout reports back. I think most of the scout reports are back now. They are, so we can actually have a look at these players and decide what we want to do now. I'm unsure. I need some time to think. I think Renan Lodi, Atletico won't sell for anything less than his release clause, which is 71 million. We won't be spending that. We're narrowing it down pretty easily here. So it is between these 4. Like we said, we don't want someone. We want someone for the future. We want someone who's good enough now to step in ahead of Zinchenko. And the only man to do that is Theo Hernandez, isn't it? Which kind of makes our mind up. But it's whether we can get him for under 65 million. If we can't, I can't see this deal happening. And then we would have to go for the likes of Carlos Neva, which is something City would do. They won't pay the big money for people. If they want ridiculous, you know, spending, they won't do it. City honestly won't do it. So we'll go for Theo Hernandez, who seems like the most. He makes the most sense, doesn't he, really? But if that doesn't work, then it's Carlos Neva, and then Vindel, and then if not, Matthias Viña. But we'll try Theo Hernandez. He's our first choice for left back. They want 71 million. That's not going to happen. Benjamin Mendy. Plus 50 million. Oh, well, I don't even want to pay that. We've set a budget, 60 million, 65 million, we're not going over that. Well, they've accepted that. Well, I can't believe it. AC Milan have accepted 45 million plus Benjamin Mendy. Wow. Well, we said we won't pay over 65 million to get Theo Hernandez for 45 million and a player that we might struggle to move on in Benjamin Mendy. That's a really good deal. Maybe we could have got him even cheaper. How about that? 100,000, 900,000 signing bonus. No little extras. Theo looks happy with it. 105 million Theo Hernandez per week. And we have signed a new left back. So this is the new left back for Manchester City. It's the young Frenchman. Probably one of the best fullbacks in the world. It's Theo Hernandez. And there is Theo Hernandez in the number 19 shirt that he will wear for Manchester City this season. Well, Southampton have approached us here, maybe to replace Danny Ings. Maybe he's left for Lucas Nemecha, around 9.8 million. We're looking for around 12 for him, so we'll negotiate with a deal, try and get a bit more money out of him, because he's a pretty good player, Lucas Nemecha. I mean, I wonder if they've still got Ings. I think Ings has left. Let's say 12 million. It's a good deal for him. 23 years of age, 76 rated. They're happy to take that deal, Hasenhüttl. So that's their Danny Ings replacement. This young 22-year-old forward who probably will form a really good, forward line with Che Adams at Southampton. Well, like the left-back situation, the striker situation needs to be resolved. I think, personally, Erling Haaland is an unrealistic target for City. I honestly do. I think he's the perfect signing to replace Sergio Aguero. But he's not the signing I can see happening. I just cannot see him signing Erling Haaland at all. So we're going to remove Haaland from the list. I'd love him. Honestly, guys, he's the perfect one. I just don't see it happening. I think Lautaro Martinez, again, he looks like he's in negotiations for a new contract with Inter Milan. So he won't be leaving them. So we'll lose Lautaro off there. Lukaku's ex-Manchester United, but I can see it happening. I can really see this transfer happening. I can see Isaac happening as well, and Darwin Núñez. Núñez will cost an absolute bomb for an 80 rated player. Let's see how much Inter want for Lukaku. We're not going to be paying his release clause 150 million. They're in financial difficulties, are Inter Milan. Let's see what sort of deal they would want. Again, I mean, we could offer Gabriel Jesus and sign a new striker, a second choice striker. Let's see if Bustos 75 million. We'll seal the deal. 117 million plus Bustos. So they are interested in Bustos. What about 80 million? I don't think we go above 85. I'll have a think about it, Antonio Conte. I don't think we go above 85 in this deal. It's not happening. It's honestly not happening. We're not paying 117 million for him. Plus Bustos. Let's try again. What about Lukaku's value? 84 million. They're desperate for that 117 million, aren't they? It's not happening. We're not paying ridiculous fees for players. No, so that's not going to be happening. We cannot afford him that ridiculous price. We did really well with Theo Hernandez to bring him at 45 million plus Mendy. But Lukaku, we just can't bring him at the price we want. I mean, we could try and go for Haaland, but I just think, why don't we try and go for Haaland and see what price they want for him? I think City would pay 100 million for him. I mean, they're both worth over 100 million. Let's see if we can agree a deal for both of them. I think Haaland's my first choice. By far, Haaland is my first choice. We'll go back into Joao Felix with Jesus. We can't offer him at the same time as Haaland. The transfer window is, getting into August now, so we need to start making this deal happen sooner rather than later. Lucas Nemecha has been sold to Southampton for 12 million, so 10.5 million goes to our budget. Well, Dortmund have responded. 167.2 million. Might be similar to the Lukaku deal. This is just not feasible. We're going at 125. Ooh, they've come down. They've come down a lot there. But we're not going over 130. They've accepted it. They've accepted 130 million for Erling Haaland. Plus Gabriel Jesus. Now, is that a deal we want to do? It's a lot of money for Haaland. I mean, 130 million for probably the best player in the world. Now, we signed him before, haven't we? We have signed him before in our PS4 career mode, and maybe we need something a bit different. So maybe we don't go for Haaland and we go for Felix instead. I think we can pick up Felix. What is Haaland's worth? 121. I think we can probably pick up Felix for less. I'm thinking we can pick up Joao Felix for less. We're going to hang on to that one because I think maybe we do something a bit different in this career mode than the PS4 one. We don't follow the same thing. A loan here from Sheffield United for Adrian Bernali. We'll accept it. Bit of an odd one to move there. Not the sort of Sheffield United player you'd expect, but we'll see how that move goes for Adrian Bernabé. And for our first game of the season, we face Liverpool in the Charity Shield. So this is the side we're going to go with against Liverpool. Ederson starts in goal. We're going to have a back four of Walker, Stones, Diaz and Alexander Zinchenko. No debut for Theo Hernandez today. Gundogan and Rodri in the middle with De Bruyne in front. Bernardo Silva in the false nine position. Mahrez on the right and Foden on the left. We've got Jesus, Aguero. I've not played either of them because I'm very unsure on what's going to happen. One of them's going to leave. Either the end of his contract, either Sergio's contract will end, so to speak. We've still not decided whether to give him a new one, even though really in real life it'd be over now. Jesus could be in a transfer, and then we've got Ferran Torres and Raheem Sterling there as well. Cancelo and Laporte and Zach Steffen, who would be in for this game, wouldn't he really? But we need to get Ederson's fitness up, his sharpness up. Fernandinho, undecided on Fernandinho as well, but we will make these decisions pretty much swiftly after this game. And there are the players arriving for this final. And to me, this is just a pre-season game. It's not a trophy that we're going to take very seriously. It's just another pre-season game, and we face Liverpool in this game. So out come the teams. Manchester City versus Liverpool. Kevin De Bruyne, the captain for us today. City still not solved the striker situation, but hopefully we will do. Mo Salah there on the sidelines for Liverpool. Ready for a good game. Liverpool side stays the same. No change, it doesn't look like. So Manchester City versus Liverpool. It's live from Wembley. Rodri on the press, doesn't quite work here. Sadio Mane. Stones has got to get back. Look at the movement by Salah in the middle. Salah's in, and Salah scores. Really poor defending. I think he's offside, Mo Salah. He is offside. Well, we get very lucky there. Ball comes across the box. I think he's onside. It showed him offside up against Stones, but I think he was onside there, Mo Salah. De Bruyne, his first touch, has let him down a few times today. And he's passing, not having the greatest of games, and now he's made a foul on Henderson. Be a free kick to Liverpool. Cross into the box, Stones away, Mane. Wijnaldum scores. I think he's offside. Another goal for Liverpool, and it's offside. They've scored two. They're 2-0 up in their eyes. It's another offside here. De Bruyne, great ball in behind to Riyad Mahrez. In space now, Mahrez. Mahrez. De Bruyne, good tackle on De Bruyne in the box. Get away with it. Zinchenko into De Bruyne. Oh, and he can't get on the end of it. Really good football. And Alisson just hoofs it up. And away for a throw-in. 18 minutes gone and we're starting to play a lot better now. Mahrez, great ball in behind. De Bruyne across the box. Virgil van Dijk deals with it. I have to say Zinchenko's having a really good game. Great ball. De Bruyne makes it 1-0. Great football from us. And Kevin De Bruyne in. And he's onside. Unlike the Liverpool players who can't stay onside, we've stayed onside. It's really nice football. And it's a really good goal by Kevin De Bruyne. Into that bottom corner. Easy finish. Bernardo through to De Bruyne. And on his left foot, he slides it in, Kevin. Really good finish. Simple finish for De Bruyne. Simple finish really in the end. And we take the lead against Liverpool. And this final, like we said, it's still a pre-season game, but still a trophy as well. 1-0 we lead. Liverpool. Good turn. Oh, Firmino's in space. Great ball into Wijnaldum. John Stones is there again. Edison clears up to Mahrez. Great. Mahrez nods it on. Fabinho. Oh, Mahrez unlucky. Battling for it though, Mahrez. Rodri, well played. Really well played. Oh, John Stones. I don't know why he made a run forward then. Doesn't matter, he's run it back. Stones. Fantastic ball on his left foot. Through to Riyad Mahrez. Look at Foden. Just couldn't find him. Mahrez not so good on his right foot. Gundogan. Oh, Gundogan with a poor pass. Stones deals with it. Mahrez. Oh, brilliant play. Here's Riyad Mahrez again. Oh, tackling the box by Arnold. City win a corner. He could have taken out Mahrez there. Walker storms in. Oh, and Kyle Walker heads it wide. Really good run from Walker. Late run into the box. Win it. Mane, great turn. Away from Kyle Walker. Into the box here. Ruben Diaz away. De Bruyne. Brilliant from Kevin De Bruyne. City on the counter. Phil Foden. De Bruyne. Mahrez. Mahrez! Oh, he hits the post. I don't know if it comes off Alisson, does it? Great football. Oh, I think it rockets off the post. I think it does hit Alisson on the way through. Unlucky Riyad Mahrez. Really good attempt. Mahrez. Oh, brilliant skill from Mahrez. Across to De Bruyne, who makes it 2-0 right at the start of the second half. Fantastic from Riyad Mahrez on that right-hand side, juggling the ball. Past Robertson, past Thiago. He had Van Dijk coming across him, lays it across the box for Kevin De Bruyne, who has a tap in. Brilliant from Mahrez. Really good from Riyad Mahrez, and we lead by 2-0 now against Liverpool. Liverpool feel like it should be a level game now. Surely after those two offside. The first one, I didn't see the replay of the second one. The first one was a very, very dodgy decision in my eyes. Cross in. Mane with a header, he scored. Pull it back for a free kick. They've had the ball in the net 3 times, Liverpool. Referee has not been on their side today. Cross in. Rodri at the near post deals with it. Oh, well played. Gundogan. Zinchenko. Foden. Oh, look at this. Where's the defence for Liverpool? Foden. De Bruyne makes it 3-0. Well, where is Liverpool's defence here? Just so easily got in behind them there. Foden played in by Gundogan. I couldn't believe there was no defence for Liverpool. 3-0 we lead. The former Premier League champions. Of course, we are Premier League champions currently. Too easy. They just threw every man forward. And De Bruyne puts it in the back of the net. Really good finish as well by De Bruyne. Simple finish. His third goal in the Community Shield. A hat-trick today for Kevin De Bruyne. Stones. Bernardo. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Here's Gundogan. Look at the run from Gundogan here. Oh, wonderful. De Bruyne. Good save by Alisson. I probably got it a bit close there. I saw Van Dijk coming across. Really good football. Rodri. De Bruyne. Oh, here's Gundogan. Gundogan. Oh, what a finish from Ilkay Gundogan. It's the midfield who is scoring all the goals here. 4-0. And Gundogan dinks it over Alisson. What a finish. Calmly, he went celebrating before the ball hit the net. I thought a Liverpool player was going to clear it, but Gundogan was celebrating. He knew it was going in. Good ball by De Bruyne. Gundogan picks it up, drifted into the box. Great little dink over Alisson. And even Henderson can't get on the end of that to stop it from going in. Really, really, oh, it's just over Alisson here. Into the bottom corner. Henderson tried, but couldn't get there. Manchester City 4. Liverpool 0. Okay, Gundogan gets a goal. Here's Mo Salah. Cross into the box. Walker at the back post. Knocks away. Well played. De Bruyne over the top to Mahrez. Great pass. Mahrez. Oh, he's had a really good game, Riyad Mahrez. Into Bernardo Silva. He's also had a fantastic game up front. Zinchenko. Gundogan. Rodri. De Bruyne. Bernardo. De Bruyne. Good ball in behind to Sterling. Sterling with a chance. Bernardo Silva. It falls to 5-0. Destruction of Liverpool here today. Absolute destruction. 5-0 we lead them. Just too easy. The Liverpool fans, look at that Liverpool fan heading hands there. Something you see on the next gen consoles is the crowd a bit more involved. It's saying bring Gundogan off and Joao Cancelo on. What a finish this is by Bernardo Silva under pressure on his right foot from Fabinho. It's an empty net, however, when he hammers it in. And the whole midfield sort of scoring, aren't they, today? Klopp heading hands moment for him. Bernardo a goal for him, and then we will make a substitution. I think we will bring on Joao Cancelo, maybe. I think we'll bring on at left back for Alexander Zinchenko. What we will do is do this. If we can move him into a left attacking midfield role. Maybe he won't let me. Looks like he's going to play there, Cancelo. We'll play Cancelo there, see how it happens, and then between these two, I think we'll bring Sergio on for Bernardo Silva. And we're not deciding on his future yet, are we? We'll bring Ferran Torres on up top. Oh, Cancelo, what a pass. I don't know how he's pulled that off. Sterling. Great play. Here's Ferran Torres up against Virgil van Dijk. Is Ferran. Ooh, he nearly gets past him. He still keeps it. Great footwork from Ferran. Nearly got past Virgil van Dijk there. Mahrez. Over the top to Sterling. Knocked away by Tomiskas. Fabinho. I don't know how he's played out of that, Fabinho. Fair play to him. Under a lot of pressure there. Here come Liverpool though. Henderson. Long ball over the top. Great ball to Mo Salah. Diaz in a foot race with him. He won't beat him. But he's there across to him. And a big tackle by Diaz. Not even getting booked for it though. That was a massive tackle. I went to crunch him there, but I wanted to just put in a heavy tackle on him to win the ball. Diaz did that. He did win the ball. He just took Salah with him. Good turn by Naby Keita. Big tackle, Ruben Diaz. It's another free kick. Loves a big tackle, does Diaz. Could be off really, because they're 2 yellow card challenges. Van Dijk's not made a foul today. He's side of 5-0 down though. Cross in by Van Dijk. Gundogan. Oh, Gundogan. Pass Diaz. Oh, and it's a poor pass and Edison catches it. Throws it out to Jesus. Oh, great pass. Liverpool's defence is shocking. Here's De Bruyne. Sterling. Oh, I thought he'd missed for a second there. 6-0. I honestly thought he'd missed for a second there, Raheem Sterling. 6-0 we beat Liverpool. There's no way back for them. The Charity Shield winners will be us. Sterling was lucky to score that, to be honest, wasn't he? Took it so close to the keeper. Alisson flying across his goal. He's put it through the tiniest of gaps, to be fair to him, between the goalkeeper and post. "6-0 against Liverpool. What a start to the season this is. Of course, it's not the Premier League, it's just the Charity Shield, and you can't, think it's too much of a win, really, in the grand scheme of things, but we started really well. Cancelo in there, wins the ball back, and that is full time. Manchester City 6, Liverpool 0. Liverpool continue to fall, don't they, from the heights that they once hit. Pep Guardiola gets the better of Jurgen Klopp, and City will lift the Charity Shield. And there the players go up to collect the Charity Shield, the winners today. Kevin De Bruyne in there, the captain of course. And Kevin De Bruyne lifts the Charity Shield trophy for Manchester City, the first of the season, and hopefully that's only the first because there's plenty more to come. That's going to end today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel and get ready for more PlayStation 5 Manchester City FIFA 21 Career Mode.